And welcome back to Chaos to Clarity. I'm meteorologist Bernie Rayno. What a week! We've had storm after storm after storm. Now, in this video, I'm going to focus on the Caboose. What does I mean by that? It's the last storm in this series of storms next week. This week we've had 3 storms, right? They haven't been all that strong, although the one on Sunday, the one coming into California, will end up being the strongest. That's going to produce a lot of snow in New York State and northern New England. But next week, instead of 3 storms, we're going to have 1. And everything is there for a big snowstorm next week, from the southern plains all the way to the northeast, including the 95 corridor. It's all there. Now, we're going to play the same game as we always do with this energy. Does it get suppressed or does it get driven up the coast? Now, let's start with cold air, because you need that, right? Let me go full screen here so you can see what's going on. All right, this is Sunday, by the way. This is as our storm is exiting the east. Look at this Arctic air across the upper Midwest and into the northern plain states. Now, watch what happens with this as we go forward here. This European model, the American model, is the same as well. Let's go through it. This is Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Monday evening, Tuesday, Monday night, Tuesday morning, and then as we get into Wednesday, look at this cold air coming south. Now, I'm going to stop this on Tuesday evening. You'll notice what's going on here. You have a boundary stuck in here, right? Where you have the cold air in place, right? And then we have the warm air. Now, boundaries are locations for what the form? Storms, right? So you're going to have a boundary stuck there. You're going to get a storm. The question is where does the storm go? But you have enough cold air. And the fact that you have the injection of cold air all the way into the 95 corridor, in fact, all the way down to Raleigh. I mean, you've got this cold air all the way down into the Carolinas. This bodes well for snow once you get toward the mid-Atlantic states and northeast. Now, you need the storm to attack the cold air, but that tells me that the ingredients are there for an I-95 snowstorm that would include Washington, D.C., all the way up toward Boston and Portland. So the cold's there. Without the cold, you don't have a chance. So now we have a chance. Now, let me show you how this is going to work. Let me put this back on me as I get everything ready. We're going to start with the upper air pattern. I'm going to start it on Sunday, and then we'll work forward here and show you how this is going to work here. So let me put this on full screen so you can see it. And we're going to look at the American model and, of course, the European model. Let me put this on full. Okay, you don't need to see me. So this upper low is the key right in here on what is going to happen with the midweek storm, which is the energy in the northwest in here. Now, that's the European model. This is the American model. This is Sunday morning. American, European, they're virtually the same. You see that? So these are the 2 pieces of the midweek storm. You could say the other piece is the cold air, but they all have the cold air. That's not an issue. So here it is. All right. These are the 2 pieces that will decide the fate of the midweek storm. Think about it this way. This is the midweek storm, and this is the steering influence. This will determine where this storm goes. Now, here we are Sunday morning. Let's show you the differences. I'm going to jump ahead to Monday morning. Monday morning, here's the European GFS, European GFS. Now, already you notice what's going on here. European GFS. Now, similar outcomes on this piece of energy, which will end up being the storm. That's the European, this GFS. There's really not that many differences with it. Not much. The differences start in here. And I think this is the key. This upper low, this is Monday morning. This upper low in here is the key. This is the steering. Now, you notice how you have a little piece of energy back here along this trough on the European back here. This is the GFS. That energy is a lot slower. It's back in here. All right. Now, let's continue to concentrate on this trough. This is the key. Let's go to Tuesday morning. European GFS. European GFS. All right. Notice the GFS, the American model, is a little slower with it, and it has the energy back in here. You notice that? The European's much stronger with this energy and farther south. Okay? And here's your storm right here. I'm going to mark this with the low. Now, what happens is It's this trough that's either going to take this storm and drive it eastward and suppress it across the south central United States, or guide it up the eastern seaboard. This is the key, what this trough does. Let me go to Tuesday evening and you start seeing even bigger differences. This is the European. Here it is. Notice what's going on. This trough, and let me play it through from Monday night, Tuesday morning, Tuesday night. You notice how this trough is beginning to deepen, right? It's starting to sharpen this. Now, watch what it then does. This is the European. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. You see what happens to this trough. Look where it's done. Look where it's gone. From Monday morning across the Canadian prairies, and you end up with this Wednesday morning. You get a cutoff low, upper low across the Dakotas. Why that's important. Look how far west this is. So what this is going to do, it's going to take this storm and it's going to drive it up the eastern seaboard. That's what it's going to do. And you can see the energy. Let me go to Wednesday evening. Look at that. There it goes. You see, you have the energy in here. Watch it drive this energy up the eastern seaboard. There it goes. Thursday morning, right there. Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. That's what the European model does. It drives it. And I'll show you the differences. All right. So let me show you the surface map then. Let's go right to the surface map and show you then what the European does. Let's start Monday morning. You don't see any storm yet. All right, here we go. Here we go. Watch the storm. Here it goes. Cross Texas. Watch it come up the easterns. There it goes. See it? There's the European. Look at that. That's a snowstorm. Now, maybe there's mixing in D.C. and Philadelphia, but I think it's almost all snow here. That's a big snowstorm. I mean, you'd be talking about several inches of snow. Washington, D.C., I don't know, 3 to 6, 4 to 8. Philadelphia, at least 3 to 6, if not 6 to 12. New York City's probably in the 4 to 8, 5 to 10, 6 to 12, but certainly New England would be. This would be a big snowstorm. Look at that. Why is the European doing this? Because what happens is, let's go to Tuesday morning. Let's go to Tuesday evening. Here's your storm. It's in here, but because your trough is coming like this, right? Instead of it pushing it this way, it guides it up the eastern seaboard. All right. Let's go back. Little difference, though, once you get to the American model. And it deals in now. I will say this. It's important to note that the European I just showed you was last evening's run. The 12Z run, today's run's coming in. It looks very similar to me, very similar to 0Z run, the evening run from last night. All right, let's take a look at the GFS. Let's go back. European, Monday morning, European, GFS. Watch what the GFS does. It never strengthens that upper low. You see it? Look at it by 7 o'clock. Here's your trough. Here's your energy. But look at the wind flow here. It's out of the west-northwest on the back side. The European, much different with this. 7 o'clock. American, European. See how the European's stronger? And what happens is, if you follow the wind flow, it's like this. And that's why the European guides it. The GFS says, no, this trough is not going to deepen. It's just going to move east. And instead of an east, south-southwest flow, it's more of a westerly flow. So this energy escapes. Now, it's farther south. You would still get snow with this across the southern plains. You would. And in the Carolinas. But it would stay probably south of Washington, D.C. 7 o'clock, GFS, American, European. See how far west the European is? European, GFS. European, American, European, American, European, American. So instead of this, the European, which is your upper lows back here and drives the energy up, the GFS doesn't have that. It has the upper low way over here, and instead of it driving it up, it drives it out. That's the difference right here. European, American, European, American. Now, what you have to decide is which is correct. I don't know. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Now, I will tell you this. I'm telling you this right now. The modeling on this is going to go like this. What I call the windshield wiper. It's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What you should be concentrating on is this trough. What is this trough doing? Watch the difference from run to one. If you start seeing the GFS start pulling this back in here and deepening it, a la the European, or even looking at the other models like the Canadian and the UK Met when we get a little closer, that's when you start being more confident. Conversely, if you start seeing the European going against this, instead of having this upper low back here, but flattening it and having it here, that means the storm's likely to go out. It's a small difference, but it makes a huge difference. Let me show you the surface map and you can see what I mean. And then I'll show you what I think is going to happen. All right. I'll give you some idea. I mean, this is way in advance, but I will tell you this. If you want snow along the I-95 corridor, you need the cold air. You're going to get it. You have the cold air. So now once I see an Arctic injection, my antennas go up for snow along the 95 because it's cold enough. And normally, not always, but normally you get the Arctic air and you're going to get a storm. Okay, let me show you the surface map and you can see what I'm talking about here. Yeah. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Sorry. Let's go to the surface map here. So we started with the European. Let me put this so you can see it. I want to put this on full. You don't need to see me. So here's the European. Okay, here's the European. We talked about it. Here it comes. Here's your storm here. Watch it go northeast. Here we go. Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, there's the storm. You see it? It's down here. Where does it end up going? It's still trying to form, but where does it end up going? In here. Watch it. There's European. Wednesday night, there it goes. Look at the track. It's in here. You have icing problems. Snow. I think this would be mostly snow in DC, but there's the track right up the coast. That's a snowstorm for the 95 corridor. And it probably turns into a you could probably start thinking about the term blizzard across northern New England with this. Now, the GFS is different because of that upper air pattern. Here's the GFS. Here we go, 7 a.m. GFS European. European GFS. Wednesday evening, European GFS. You see, the GFS has the storm right where the European does, but because of the upper air, upper low being here instead of here, it drives it here. Now, it's farther north than the evening run. There it goes. Now, that's still snow. In Philadelphia, New York City, it's just not as much, but it's mostly offshore. That's the difference. The American model, European model. And it all begins, let's go back so you understand, it all begins with the difference in the upper air. Let's go to Tuesday night. There's the European, there's the GFS. See the difference? European, the upper low is stronger. It's cutting off back here, so it produces more of a west-southwest steering flow. The GFS is flatter with this. We go to Wednesday evening. Here it is. Your American model's here. That drives it out to sea. European model is back here. See, there's the difference. American, European. American, European. Now, it's not a big difference. This far out, that's a pinprick. But that's the difference. Now, no matter what you look at to me, and I want to show you this. No matter what you look at here, you're looking at snow here in the southern plains and maybe all the way down in the I-20. I think at the very least, you're going to get snow in this area, like so. I think you're going to get some now. Now, if this storm is a little stronger than your mix, but I think the potential with this storm is the European, that you can get a big snowstorm here along the I-95 corridor. It is on the cards. The time frame would be Wednesday into Thursday. Where does this storm go? It's in here. Does it get driven like the GFS, or does it come like this? If it comes like this, and there's every chance that that happens, this will be a huge snowstorm as we get toward the middle part of the week. So, I'll end with the surface map because I think a lot of people do understand that more than the 500 millibar. And again, you can just see the differences as we look at this together one last time. Is you have the Arctic air, and then here comes the storm. Here it is Wednesday. European GFS, both modeling has some snow. Southern Plains, Tennessee, Kentucky. The question is what happens in the mid-Atlantic states? The European, even the GFS would have snow all the way up to DC. Again, I think when I've been fooled many times this year, not many times, but fooled that the cold air has suppressed everything, that the upper air hasn't been right. But if you look at a surface map like this, the temperature profile like this, Tuesday morning, you have to be excited for snow. That's Arctic air in place. And if you have Arctic air in place, that's the main. You can't have a big snowstorm without it. And you've got it in spades. So watch this as we get to the middle part of this week. We'll continue to keep you updated on it. And I'll leave you with this map. This is the area you have to be ready for the snow as we head into next week, middle part of next week. This is what you have to be ready for. Let me put this back up. Wednesday into Thursday. Now, the big snows with this would not be back into the Midwest. This would be some snow. Your big snows with this would be in this zone in here, I think. Like that. That's the potential for the big snows in here, would be in here. But anywhere in this area, get ready for snow and ice. Could be ice in the southern part of this. So this is going to have a huge impact on travel. All right, so let's keep an eye on that upper low. I'll keep an eye on it together. I'll take another look at this tomorrow. I'll post it on my X account, showing you where that upper low is, and then we'll just track it and see how it goes. But you have the injection of cold air, and that's why I think right now it's a 50-50 shot. Any questions, you can follow me on X. I'm at AccuRayno. I appreciate everybody watching this, and I'll be back with you on Friday.